Have you ever wondered if it's possible to obtain spiritual enlightenment by means of setting goals? Throughout my 30 years of experience in metaphysical sciences and the study of spirituality, I've come to understand and create a formula of how we simply go through this process of mindfully walking this spiritual journey to a place of not only enlightenment, but a place of true fulfillment and happiness. And so as I have studied and eventually became an ordained minister in metaphysical science and also obtained a PhD in metaphysical sciences, I've learned that the process of spiritual enlightenment, happiness, joy, fulfillment is really a simple process of optimizing and utilizing all the aspects of who you are. And is a simple process of acknowledging all of these aspects and then applying them in a way that is mindful and intentional. You see, many of us on this journey are doing so without any true awareness that we are on this journey. We are all spiritual, but many of us are not on a conscious spiritual journey. You see, we'll all get to the destination eventually, but when we are conscious about it, that means we will expedite, we will make the process and the journey a lot more pleasurable and joyful. But now as we are on this journey mindfully, and you consider yourself to be somebody who is spiritual, spiritually conscious, aware, woke even, you can really understand that every aspect has a lot to do with you making this journey and getting to the point where you truly understand the path that you're on and the destination that you are going toward. So let's get into exactly what it means to set goals to obtain spiritual enlightenment. You see, goals is actually an acronym that I've created. Generating opportunities, abundance, love, and success. Now, when you're on this journey of spiritual enlightenment, spiritual fulfillment, you must understand that the process by which you obtain this state is a process of really tapping into all aspects of who you are, whether it be your ego, subconscious mind, conscious mind, superconscious mind, higher mind, even grand consciousness, what we often call God. Recognizing that all of those many layers are essentially different aspects of you. And so as you are on this journey and you are coming into the understanding of all of the aspects of who you are, down to your body, down to the subconscious thoughts and programs that you were given as you were a child, down to your ego and its nature to protect you, but when it is not managed properly, it can prevent you from actually moving forward along this journey productively. Until eventually you understanding your consciousness and finally tapping into the truth as to who you are. The spiritual journey is ultimately about understanding the truth as to who you are. And when you are on this journey, it can be a struggle in the beginning because you have to deal with the quote unquote negative aspects of who you are. You have to deal with the dirt. You have to deal with the darkness. And many times it is being the exposure of this darkness often makes people want to run away, makes people want to hide and go back to where they once were before they took this conscious journey. The thing though is once you start the journey, you can't really go back. It's like once you have seen something, you cannot unsee it. Once you know something, you cannot unknow it. So now you must understand that once you take this step or every step thereafter, you cannot step back. And so it's important to recognize that because that means that now that you have taken this initial step, you must own it and go forward 100%. Go all in, because if you're not all in, then you are essentially going to create more suffering for yourself. More suffering than the suffering that you were experiencing before you set out to take this spiritual journey. Now, as you use this formula of goals to obtain spiritual enlightenment, you must understand that this process is a process that is formulated for simplicity. Now, because it is simple does not mean it's going to be easy. And because it isn't going to be easy doesn't mean that it's going to be hard or impossible. You see, there is a space where you can find a groove, a flow, where you can tap into that divinity within you and understand that all of the complexities, the complications, the suffering, the uncomfortability that may arise as you are on this journey of recognizing your goals to obtain spiritual fulfillment is that which you can let go of, because you can understand that at the end of this journey, you are bound to succeed. You are bound to understand this fulfillment, this quest, this desire that you have along this journey, right? So we're taking this spiritual journey not because we want to suffer. We're taking the spiritual journey is because we want to understand the suffering and thus ascend beyond the suffering. We want to understand the darkness and we want to ascend above the darkness. We want to, acknowledge and understand why we are experiencing certain things, whether it be poverty, whether it be toxic relationships, right? Whether it be bad, unsupportive environments. We want to ascend above that. And in order to do so, we have to embrace who you are. This is a part of the journey of spirituality. Spirituality means the unraveling, the unfoldment of self, the revelation of who you are, your very nature, your very essence, the core. And when you get into that core, then all of the answers are then revealed to you. Now, are they revealed to you exactly at that given moment? Maybe not. But over the course of time, as you continue to walk into this trueness, right, this essence of understanding who you are, then eventually you begin to blossom and truly come into true self-realization. Now, you must understand that when you are taking this journey, it is not a journey that is going to be simply, easy peasy, right? But it is going to definitely allow you to recognize the complications, the suffering, the doubt, the insecurities, all of the things that we have made up in our minds that simply aren't true, and surpass them, right? Go beyond them, evolve past them, or evolve over them. And they will eventually dissolve. They will eventually become nothing, because in truth, they are nothing. They are simply made up concepts by your ego. And when you recognize that they are made up concepts, you then own the truth as to who you truly are. You own the truth that you are an infinite divine being. You are individualized expression of that thing we call God, which I often call grand consciousness. And when you recognize that that is who you are, then you understand that truly you can never experience harm, pain, suffering, even death. You only experience transformation. You only experience lessons. You only experience understanding. And as you go through life, and as you apply and understand how to use these goals to get you to this enlightenment, right? This understanding of being able to see it all, then you recognize that this game of life is one that is complicated, and it can seem like you are destined to lose, because that is where the ego, and that is how the ego thinks. But when you understand you are not the ego, you recognize that you are pure consciousness, then you truly understand that you are actually destined to win. And so with that understanding, you win the game, you see, because as you are identifying with ego, then you are identifying with losing. You are identifying with lack. But as you understand the truth that you are consciousness, you identify with truth, the reality that you actually are the winner. You create the game, essentially. And so throughout this process of understanding how to set these goals, how to generate opportunities, how to create abundance, how to attract love, how to manifest success, then you truly recognize that it is the culmination of all these things that truly manifests spiritual enlightenment, spiritual fulfillment, spiritual understanding, success, happiness, and joy. So now your journey will begin with this understanding. And as we go forward, I will begin to break down the process of spiritual enlightenment and understanding this concept of your goals and how to use them to actually create the things that you desire and essentially create the life that you truly want. So now this journey is about really coming into a space where you gain clarity. You gain clarity as to who you are. You gain clarity as to your power to create your reality. And thus, you create the reality that you desire. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my daily newsletter, download this free ebook, The Power Within. I also invite you to join my Conscious Creators Circle, which is a paid subscription-based membership that allows you to get daily techniques, affirmations, audio, hypnosis tracks, things of that nature, books, ebooks, weekly calls with me, and also the opportunity to have one-on-one coaching. And now when you join, it would allow you and support you as to being a conscious creator and understanding that you create this entire reality and you can create anything that you desire. So thank you so much. Feel free to continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.